Because I'll tell you something, there's many people in our industry from Iona. And Iona, it's all about the people. And Masscom is moving along.
What's up, guys? I'm back with we got Romero here.
What's up? I'm back.
And we also have a new guest. What's your code name?
Angelina.
Romero and Angelina. We still had some time, and nobody was really here to stop us, so we decided, let's have Romero tell another story. Why not?
I'm about to tell another story. Okay, all right. So let's see. How far back do I want to go? All right, so I'm a freshman. Romero Cablo is a freshman. And I went to school at Dublin School in New Hampshire. So it's super small, super artsy. We can pretty much do whatever we want as long as we don't, hurt anybody, hurt ourselves, or fail out of school. So that's kind of cool. So one of the things that I wanted to do was my dream, all right? And I'm using my hand. My dream was to walk across the stage during graduation with little ducklings in my pocket, with my friends. So
why is that a dream? I'm not even surprised anymore.
So what I did. I had this idea probably beginning of April, I guess. Yeah, beginning of April, and so we did this whole thing. So what I did was I went online, and I knew from prior experience of this area that you can get things online that help you with this. So because a couple years ago we had chickens and we went to mypetchicken.com. Shout out to mypetchicken.com. And you can get day-old chicks. So they ship day-old chicks in the mail, priority mail. The reason they can do that is because day-old chicks, when they're born, feed off of the remnants of the things that's inside the egg that's still stuck to their feathers, which is kind of cool. So they can survive for up to 3 days without any kind of food. So which is how they can get away with being shipped in the mail. So I knew about that. So I just went online and I did a quick little Google search, and you can get fertilized duck eggs online. So I did that. I went online. I bought everything I needed. I bought a incubator that could hold 48 duck eggs because that was cheaper than the ones that could hold one duck egg. So I bought the one that was bigger, obviously. And actually, if you want to hatch quail eggs, which are smaller than duck eggs, you can use the same incubator with a different tray, and you can hold 144 quail eggs in that incubator.
That is an astounding amount.
It is an astounding amount. You can't eat. There's really no other way. No use for quail other than as a game bird. So for
being from New Hampshire, you're obviously a quail hunter.
I'm obviously a quail hunter. So back to ducks. So I went online and I wanted. I got a incubator, and then I also got a book. The reason of the book, it's called Raising Ducks by someone. I forget what. But it's 144 pages. Yeah, it's 144 pages. And it goes through the whole process of selecting the right ducks, selecting the right eggs, going through a different good breeder. If you want to go and do show ducks, it goes through the whole process of the different associations that govern the show ducks and tell you the different faults. And if you have more than 3 faults, you have to go through a different process. So that whole thing. So what I decided was I wanted to go down the route of mallard ducks, not Muscovy ducks. Muscovy ducks are very big, and they're, in my opinion, very ugly. They have these long wingspans, so they can fly for long amounts of time. But I just didn't want a duck that was that big. Also, they're just not as pretty. But mallard ducks are super pretty. They're the ones that you see, when you have, I don't know, if you see a duck in the movies or a duck in a
How many types of ducks are there?
There are so many types of ducks.
How many ducks do you know about? You've been talking 4 minutes straight about ducks.
I'm not done yet.
Sorry, my bad.
So ducks. So what was I saying, guys? You totally made me lose my train. Oh yeah, so I went down the mallard duck.
Goose, you lost. I got nothing. I tried to make a pun. I failed miserably. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll just leave.
Man, that's really ruffling my feathers.
There it is. That's
boy. Anyway, so I went down the mallard path, right? Because they're prettier ducks and they're nicer. They're also smaller. And that's just better. I also wanted something that was pretty. So in the mallard, there are different things, and I went down the path of call ducks. So call ducks are the little ducks, the ones that are very round,
Just get to the story.
I am getting to the story. The ones that are very round, the ones that are very nice, those are the ones that you typically bring to shows. They're the most popular ducks to bring to shows. The Rowans and the runners and stuff like that, they don't really...
How many duck shows?
Just get to the story, please.
There are actually people that dedicate their lives to breeding ducks for duck shows. It's very cool. It's a very cool thing. Anyway, so I went down that route and I got some call ducks, and I got them in eggs and fertilized eggs, and they're about the size of a chicken egg. They're a little bit bigger. Actually, if you guys know anybody that's allergic to chicken eggs, they're not going to be allergic to duck eggs, and they're healthier.
And if you make a cake with duck eggs, it'll be it'll taste better.
Yep, they're also 30% bigger and have more protein and less cholesterol and fat. So if you are on a diet, they're a little bit more expensive, and they're kind of people aren't used to eating them. But you should eat duck eggs compared to chicken eggs. They're a lot better.
Yeah, I love them. My friend Jack had 3 ducks.
Really?
One of them's name was Kevin. Don't remember the other one's name. But they also had a German Shepherd. And their German Shepherd, there's some videos online where they became YouTube famous.
Really?
Yeah. Their videos have millions of views because their duck and their German Shepherd are best friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we should watch that after that.
Yeah, for sure. During during a break.
Yeah.
Actually, another story, but remind me to tell you about my chickens after the ducks. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we got it was pretty much just me at this point that didn't tell anybody. This was mid-April at this point that I wanted to order the ducks. So mid-April that I wanted to order the ducks, and I went online and I got the ducks, or duck eggs. Got them back and put them in the incubator. So it's a very simple process to, it's not that involved, and it's pretty simple to hatch duck eggs, to hatch chicken eggs. If you're into hatching quail or you have the permits necessary to hatch emu or ostriches, it's very simple. If you're in a controlled environment with, no drafts, where you can control the temperature and humidity. And the incubator that I had, you can control the temperature with a little dial, and you can control the humidity just by pouring water in, which is very simple and very easy to do if you aren't doing it in a dorm room. Because the other thing I forgot, so Dublin School in New Hampshire is a boarding school, so I wasn't able to control the temperature in my room. So that added another level of complexity.
7 minutes on ducks.
7 minutes on ducks. We're not even done yet. So, you messed me up. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Ice Cube.
You think about Ice Cube?
Yeah.
All right. So, back to ducks. So, we put them in the incubator. It was very simple. And I was able to control it, the temperature and stuff, for a good, 3 days. But as the temperature outside got warmer, the temperature in my room got warmer, and it was harder and harder to control. Oh, are we back?
What? No, you're fine. You're
All right. All right. So we were able to control the temperature. It was harder and harder to control the temperature in the incubator. He probably thinks this is the.
He can hear what you're talking about too.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So harder and harder to control the temperature.
8 minutes on ducks.
Yeah. 8:15 on ducks. So gosh, every time you introduce. All right. So.
Sorry.
Back to ducks. So you put them in the incubator, and you have to keep the temperature within a couple degrees of 95 degrees Fahrenheit. If you go higher than that, you can only do it for about 15 minutes before the embryo dies off. And if you go below that by a degree or two for more than an hour, then the embryo dies off. If you're within that 2 degrees, you're good. The development slows down. The incubation period goes from about 28 days to 32. You guys are so interested right now.
Sorry.
Anyway, but what happens is, because I was in a dorm room, long story short, I was not able to successfully hatch the duck eggs, and we lost 7 good fighters out there in that incubator.
No.
Yeah. Another thing, the duck eggs, when the embryo dies, if you don't get rid of them, and you keep them in the incubator, they start to smell very bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it stunk up the whole hallway.
That's awful.
Yeah. But then I told so people were super excited too. We were going to name them. Because also the imprinting process is very cool. Because the first thing they see the first moving thing they see, whether that be a person, another duck, an animal, or even like a phone. If you're moving a phone in front of them, they'll imprint on that, and they'll think that that's their mother, which is super cool. Which means that if they saw our face as the first thing, they would follow us across the stage. Mm-hmm. So we could just put them down, and then they would follow us across the stage.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
But at the same time, though, what happens after you've gotten off the stage?
See, we didn't think that through.
I want to hear something funny related to ducks.
Yeah.
I watched a news clip last week where this duck was sitting on the sidewalk, and people would walk by, and it would just quack at people, and it was just sitting there, and people would just walk by, and it'd be quacking away. It turns out... turns out that the ducklings had fallen into like one of those drains, and was quacking at people to get the ducklings out.
Really?
So these 2 police officers came and saved the ducks. You don't hear about that on CNN.
You do not hear about that.
It's just Ferguson.
You know...
Topical.
we should... You know what we should do? Only positive news.
Positive news.
You want to do like a segment where it's only positive news?
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
Nobody would care, though. That's the sad world.
Nobody would care, but it would be so cool.
You know, I like the idea of positive news. Where we talk about ducks.
We should do it.
Ducks, that's it.
No, I can't. This has been 11 minutes on ducks that...
I mean, I have another, 20 minutes to talk about chickens if you guys want to hear about that.
Let's put it to a vote. Who wants to hear about chickens?
I want to hear about chickens.
All opposed?
I don't. No.
well.
What was it? Andrea? Alex? What was your
Angelina.
Angelina.
Holy moly.
You haven't talked yet. What's new with you? You don't have to hold that too close to your mouth, though. What's up with you?
I don't have a story.
You don't have a story about ducks?
No.
I don't blame you. Not many people do.
Brian, get out of there. Brian, you can't be in here.
All right, so going back to chickens. So
no. All right, this is what we're going to talk about. Brian, I see you, man. The New England Patriots won their first game against the Steelers last Thursday. The Patriots are by far the best team in the league, and that is not objective.
Really?
No, that is objective. That's not subjective.
I think that the Chicago Bears... I don't know anything about football, I'm sorry.
Oh, guess who just texted me? Hafiz.
Oh my gosh, throwback. We were talking about Angelina. You weren't here before, but we were talking about Hafiz and how he's just a mythical creature, we think, that just comes and goes as he pleases. He's like a warlock, I think that is.
You know what we should do?
Yeah.
What?
Have a viewer call in. Hafiz. If he calls me, then I'll answer.
All right.
He wants to study computer science for that teacher that we don't know the name of.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Another story? You want another story?
Let's talk about Ice Cube.
Or we could talk about Formula One. Cool things are happening in Formula One right now. Obviously, the most widely known. If you're talking about Formula One, pretty much the only name that you're gonna hear, if you're not truly into it, is Lewis.
Patrick.
Wait, what's Formula One?
Not Danica Patrick. That's NASCAR. We're talking about Formula One.
What's Formula One?
All right, so Formula One was a racing series that was born in the 30s-ish. It was popularized by a man named Alfred Normbauer.
Normal?
Almost. What Alfred Normbauer did in the 30s was he was commissioned by actually it was commissioned by Hitler. It was one of his
Oh man.
Yeah, it was one of his directions to kind of display the power of Germany. So what he did was he went in and turned a racing series that was formerly known and formerly recognized as a gentleman's racing, where just very wealthy men came in and bought their cars and did everything, and then just went out and raced and had cups of tea, during pit stops and stuff. But they weren't actually called pit stops, and they weren't as efficient as Alfred Normbauer, who was a former artillery something. He came.
An artillery.
He was an artillery something. He commanded artillery commander. I don't know. He did something like that in World War I.
Needless to say.
He was very very organized, very awesome in terms of that. And he came in and he turned the whole sport into what pretty much what we know it, or what people know it as today, was just like very systematic, very like everything's dialed in.
You know what I like about
He invented the pit stop. You guys know pit stops, right?
Yeah,
He invented the pit stop.
It's the that movie Cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Cars?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what? So
That's my
actually,
extent of knowledge.
the first season that Alfred Normbauer was head of the German racing team in Formula One, which is Grand Prix racing, the German cars would come in first and second, and the gap between second and third were as much as 15 minutes.
It's absurd.
Isn't that crazy?
You know what I like about Formula One?
Yes.
It's not a circle.
That's true. But they also don't have circles in like not all. It's not just a bunch of like Indy 500s and stuff.
All right. Well, NASCAR's a big oval.
Some of them. You have other circuits that are more street racing.
True.
Yeah.
But I like. You know what I like?
Huh.
Fast and Furious 6.
Fast and Furious 6.
Only that one. That's the only one I've seen.
I like Fast and Furious 6.
You know what happened in Fast and Furious 6?
What?
Jason Statham was in it for about 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I like about Jason Statham?
What?
He was in a series of movies called The Transporter, where he played a guy he was a limo driver, and then every single one of his the people who hired him to bring him somewhere would get kidnapped, and he have to go save them, which is a terrible job. You're doing something wrong if every single one of the people you have to transport is getting kidnapped. So Jason Statham, you're the man, but do your job.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with what you were talking
Yeah.
about, but I kind of want.
And I still have more to talk about if you guys want to hear more about Formula One racing and how it became what we know.
I want to hear more about chickens
No.
and gooses.
And geese.
Geese.
Oh, you want to talk about pet peeves?
Yes.
Oh,
Speaking
yeah,
of,
yeah,
so
yeah,
the
let's talk about
goose and geese thing that I just corrected Angelina over. That's my biggest pet peeve. Yeah.
What? was-
So my two biggest pet peeves are hearing the sound of people chewing bananas. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Bananas.
It's like
what?
do you know that sound?
Now I do.
Yeah, right. So it's that sound, and then when people say, where, I don't know, where is the tennis balls? It's where are the tennis balls?
You know what makes me angry? That used to make me angry, but now I've started to do it myself because I've overthought it.
What?
I would always use the correct form of your and your.
Yeah.
The apostrophe RE and
Oh,
just the R. But then I started to overthink myself, and now, like 8 out of 10 times, I do it wrong myself.
Really?
It's just kind of sad.
Angelina, what's a pet peeve of yours?
What are we doing with it?
I don't know. But can I keep talking about Formula One? I love it. I love Formula One
Remember
so
when our
much.
show used to be like had dignity, and we talked about Ice Cube.
Yeah. Oh, also
Let's talk about Sean Kingston.
All right. So we've come up with a new name for our little segment.
Yes.
Grill Brothers.
The Grill Brothers.
The Grill Bros. All right. The reason,
And one girl.
Jeff, you want to? Well,
You're the guest.
You're the guest. I'm sorry. So.
Angelina.
The Grill Bros. The Grill Bros.
Nope, not
Yeah.
quite.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, the singer.
These
Wait,
are the
Angelina
Grill Bros.
Okay, so let's go through why it's called the Grill Bros. How about? All right. So how long ago is this?
Once upon a time, about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So we were walking back from IPK, Iron Pizza Kitchen.
Ah,
Very good
shut up.
pizza.
I
The-
highly recommend
Yeah.
their buffalo chicken pizza. $4, and then get a Snapple.
Yep.
Too.
And,
$6 meal right there.
yeah, it's fantastic. Anyway, so we were walking back from IPK, and we were going. So we were coming back from IPK. We went in front of Loftus, and there was these two guys in the Jeep, and they were like, "Oh, do you guys want to earn $50?" And Jeff and I were like, "Well, yeah,
Of course.
I mean, come on."
Didn't even stop to think about how sketchy the situation is.
Yeah. So they're like, "All right." So they're
Just
like,
get
"All right."
in our car.
Yeah, just get in our car and come back to our house. We're like, okay. So we went back to their house, and all we had to do was build a grill. So we got 25, or actually they tipped us $5, which is
They
very
did.
nice. Which is good of tip. It's a 20% tip, right?
Yeah.
If I
and
did that math
They
right.
were very nice. They were so nice. I'm just so happy they were lazy enough not to build their own grill.
Me too.
So what did you do with the money?
We just spent it
Went back to Iron Pizza and
at
had a
Iron.
feast.
Yes. So we what what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so that was just the start of a ridiculous day. So that was how the Grill Bros were founded.
All right, so
Jeff
can
and I.
sing that the introduction.
Introduction to what?
The outro.
Outro?
Yeah.
To what?
An outro? We're not done.
We're not done. We're not done with the story.
Not about the.
We have
Grill
so many.
Bros.
We
I
have
was
so
gonna
many
say-
topics to talk about.
Romero
Grill
and I,
Bros.
the Grill Bros, are
Romero-
some of the most interesting radio hosts that have ever graced the earth.
Oh yes. So, not Romero. I'm Romero. So Jeff and I went back to Iron Pizza.
Call me Hefe. You know
Hefe?
what? Hefe.
Hefe.
I'm Hefe now.
Hefe and Romero. So Hefe. So
Hefe and Romero.
Hefe and I went
Grill
back
Bros.
to.
Grill Bros at law.
Yeah, Hefe and partners. So, so we went back to IPK and we got some more pizza. And while we were there, we were standing in line, and
Oh my lord.
this random guy came up and just like all right. So imagine a guy with like very light blue jeans.
Overalls.
Oh, were they? Oh, they.
No. He only had the straps.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of like overalls.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
And they were hiked up real high, and then he had a shirt that was tucked in, and then he had these big, I don't know if you guys have watched Cops, but they're the, big glasses with the big rims. I don't know what they're called, horn rims? I don't actually know what they're called, but they're big, and they're just like very in your face. Anyway, so he was wearing those.
1970s glasses.
Yeah, 1970s glasses.
Yeah.
He was,
Ice Cube glasses.
Shoot.
Ice Cube wears those.
In The Big Lebowski.
The dude glasses.
The dude glass? No, not those.
Which ones?
I don't know. But anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. And he was wearing them, and so he turned to us when we were standing in line, and he just like starts smiling
He's
and
kinda,
like laughing
shaking,
and like shaking his head. And he's like, "We're almost done it with oppression," and we're like,
We're almost out of oppression.
and we're like, I'm sorry." He's like, "Yeah," and he just keeps like laughing and shaking his head at us, and we're like, "Yeah, right." And so like that's how that happened.
Takes his pizza, he walks outside
Oh my
to
god!
the side of the road where he stands at a crosswalk for about 5 minutes,
Eating his pizza,
eating his pizza.
then disappears for about 30 seconds, comes back in, and it's like, "I need another pizza," and then orders
I'm gonna have that other piece,
Yeah.
and then walks into the bathroom
for about 20
for
minutes,
about 20 minutes.
comes back out, has his pizza, leaves, and we don't see him again. Which, we still laugh about.
How old was he?
I don't know, probably 40.
Imagine an Amish guy without any of the qualities that I don't know. Was that something I shouldn't say?
I don't know. It's on the edge. Anyway,
No,
so
it's not. He was probably no. He could have been.
anyway, moving on. so
No one's listening.
yeah, no one's listening. So let's go to So then about 3-4 hours later, we're walking to La Penta, and this.
No, we went to the rugby game.
Oh, were we? Oh yeah, we were. We were walking.
This story is completely out of order. It went rugby game because we went.
No. Oh, because it was the morning.
It was during the rugby game, but we went to La Penta to eat. Found out it was closed. Went to Iron Pizza Kitchen. Then built the grill.
Okay. When did the guy compliment me on my shorts? So I was wearing.
As we're walking to La Penta.
As we're walking to La Penta, I was wearing these salmon-colored shorts, and he looks at me, and so this guy, he's like older with a fanny pack, and he's like, he looks at me, and then looks at my shorts, and looks back at me, and he's like, "Those are some nice shorts there, nice summer weather," and I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, man." But I actually do appreciate it because I really.
And then he said the pink ones.
Oh yeah,
what if-
yeah, the
yeah,
pink ones.
He knows the color of his pants.
So that was kind of a funny series.
All right,
of
well,
events.
that's been 23 minutes.
Do you want to put on some music?
I think everybody wants to listen
Yeah.
to music.
Seeing as we lost all of our viewers.
Yeah, we're heading out, so
All right.
we'll there goes the monitor.
All right, so I can, as you're queuing up some music, I'll just finish my little snippet about Formula One.
Please do.
So then the next thing, after Alfred Normbauer came in and revolutionized Formula One, it went on. There was a series of things that happened, and then that's when Frank Williams, like the Williams racing team, was founded by Frank Williams,
All right. No,
a used
we're
car
done.
salesman. I'll finish this next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Grill Bros and guest. We're
This is-
signing off.
This
Thank
is
you,
Angelina.
all you fans out there. I think out of the two fans, one of them is probably my dad.
The other one's probably my mom.
I love my fans.
Alright, so you heard it here. Now we're gonna play some Jukebox Heroes by Foreigner.
Oh my god.
For the longest time, I thought it was Juicebox Heroes. Here we go.
Remember to turn off the mics.
I love this song, yeah.